Hey everybody, Ed here, and I want to show you another great publishing opportunity on the iPad in particular. You've heard me talk, if you're a long-term follower, about the exciting, and one of my big predictions, I suppose, for this year is Newsstand, because Newsstand on the iPad in particular has changed immensely. You saw our iBook prototype, and I want to show you another prototype we've been working on here. And it's very exciting. We're very, very close to releasing this as a product. So I wanted to show you what it is today. Now, of course, Newsstand, you see that icon down there in the bottom row, it's got the little red 2 on it, is a new function of iOS 5, and it was designed to emphasize, the magazine capabilities of the iPad. Now, of course, this was part of a grand plan, because in March, of course, the iPad 3 will be announced, and it will have a Retina display. So can you imagine the sharpness of what you have on an iPhone 4 in a 10-inch display? I mean, it'll be like reading a National Geographic. And Apple knows this, they get this, and they're putting heavy emphasis on Newsstand. Newsstand also solved the big problem with magazine reading on the iPad. Before Newsstand, if you wanted to read a magazine, you had to decide, I want to have a look at the New Yorker here. And then you have to go and actually download the thing, which was a real pain in the neck. So that meant that if I wanted to get to... Now, see, this issue just came straight up. If I went to the home screen, it's automatically downloaded. But before, if I wanted to grab this January... issue, I'd have to hit the download button, and given the bandwidth, could potentially wait 10-15 minutes. And of course, the iPad is all about being instantaneous. So for me, magazines really were of limited use because they couldn't jive with that instantaneous nature of the iPad. Now, of course, what happens with Newsstand is the editions automatically run in the background overnight. You can update up to once per day, and Apple will automatically deliver the content so that when I want to go in, just as I did with the New Yorker there, bam, it was there right on time, and I didn't have to wait. There was no waiting. And this is a huge deal, And I think people actually... have completely overshadowed and not thought about how big a deal this is. So we are putting a huge emphasis on the Newsstand this year. We think it's an ideal platform, not to produce magazines, because, hey, magazines do a great job of producing magazines. We're not a magazine publisher. We don't have those sort of resources. But what we're interested in is newsletter-style applications. For example, let's look at Digital Marketing Magazine. This is a prototype, and if you're watching this, Ryan, trust me, the name will change, of the type of thing that we think is going to be very exciting with this platform. So we'll go to our issue here, and we'll hit View, and there we are. It's pretty high quality, and handsome-looking devil there on the front cover, and it is a iPad man, just app like every other. You can tap the screen to show the top bar, show the dynamic. We can go through the dynamic features down here, go to various pages, skip through. We've got a home button. We've got all of those things. They're all there. So now we can just go into the actual story. And we've got this great content here. We've got a cover story. But I think, for me, in sort of the niche area, what's going to be exciting is not big 64-page stuff, but 4, 8, 12, 16 pages of highly, highly targeted, awesome multimedia content. So let's see what I mean by this. So, for example, people have been thinking about this as a delivery mechanism for traditional magazine formats. We've made this mistake over the years in every new media. With every new media, we use the old media. For example, when radio was invented, what were the first radio shows? They were the newspaper read out. The first television shows were a camera stuck in front of a guy in front of a microphone. Indeed, they used to film the radio theatre shows, right? And they became TV shows before they discovered formats like the soap. The internet was just brochures online until they actually figured out things like eBay and Facebook, things that could not have existed without that media. And that's where I think the exciting opportunity is here with Newsstand, because I think it's time to think outside the box with what you can do. And that's definitely what we're doing. We're not saying we've solved it, but I think we can do a lot better. So, for example, we can embed YouTubes.
And this is one where I'm going to find it really difficult not to swear. It's Google and Google Plus.
So this is a podcast episode which has been turned. Pause it. This is a podcast episode which has been turned into a streaming video, and exactly what we can look at. And you can see here we've got a format where you can look at both people and see who's talking and doing what. It's fantastic. Then we can sort of look at features and various other things. Cool things that we've got here. Again, we've got another video that potentially you can watch and we can stream. Again, we've used YouTube here, but we can also do things like we can have in browsing. So, for example, if we're promoting the Immediate Edge, we can have in the magazine straight to our actual sales page. And so we can sell our products inside the magazine. And we've got, this great thing here. There's another one of our videos. We can jump to a section. And so this is the iPad Secrets. This is a piece of content that I created. And again, we can use just YouTube videos. Here is a webinar embedded inside the magazine. And you can see here we've got a link. Market Pro Max is the tool that we use for providing webinars, and we've got a link back to them. Obviously my internet connection is a little bit slow today, but you can see how that works, and we can actually watch the actual challenge webinar. We can put that in the magazine. We're not just limited, of course, to videos, YouTube videos. We can put in any sort of web objects. We can do all sorts of things. So, for example, here we've got an interview that I did with Oren Cleft. Now, not only have you got the interview, but we can provide the author their book, and we can provide a link. In this case, Oren provides a free chapter in his book, so we can direct people directly to it inside the magazine while they're reading. And to me, I think that is incredibly awesome. So we've got the transcript, we've got on the margin there, it looks great. An opportunity to have people opt in. And then, of course, we've got here at the end, we've got obviously all the links of everything that we talked about, and we can literally tap, for example, if we want to see Oren on Twitter, we can go and have a look at that. We can keep things seriously interactive. And this is live, right? This is a live stream, right? And it's just fantastic. And then, of course, we can actually do promotions. And this whole page is a promotional ad, but it's interactive. And we can go and provide, we can drive emails, we can drive opt-ins and so on. So this is a little taste, just a little taste of what you can do with a magazine. And when you see how you build this, when we reveal the process and the engine that we use to do this, it's going to blow you away, because you will not believe how easy it is to produce this sort of content. So I hope you enjoyed this little sneak preview, and we'll speak soon.